The story opens in 2006 with Satoru Fujinuma, a 29-year-old struggling manga artist working as a pizza delivery driver. His life takes a dramatic turn when he witnesses a glowing blue butterfly and experiences what he calls revival, a supernatural ability that sends him back in time 1 to 5 minutes whenever something terrible is about to happen nearby. During one such incident, he prevents a truck from hitting a child by steering it away, though he crashes into a car himself. After spending 2 days in the hospital, Satoru returns home to find his mother, Sachiko Fujinuma, waiting for him. Despite being much older, Sachiko appears remarkably youthful and has come to care for her son during his recovery. During their time together, she asks Satoru about an incident from his childhood when he was in 5th grade, the kidnapping and murder of 2 classmates, for which a man called Yuki had been arrested. One day while shopping with his mother, Satoru experiences another revival episode. Together, they spot a suspicious man attempting to lure a girl toward a van. Sachiko takes a photograph of the vehicle, an action that proves fateful. That evening, they invite Airi Katagiri, a co-worker from the pizza shop, for dinner. The situation escalates dramatically when Sachiko recognizes the man from the photograph and realizes that Yuki had been innocent of the childhood murders. Before she can share this revelation with Satoru, an intruder breaks into their home and murders her. When Satoru discovers his mother's body, he is framed for her death and forced to flee from the police. In a desperate moment while running from authorities, Satoru experiences the most significant revival of his life, one that transports him back 18 years to 1988 when the original murders occurred. He finds himself back in elementary school, inhabiting his 11-year-old body, but retaining his adult memories and consciousness. Realizing that saving his mother requires preventing the original murders, Satoru focuses on the first victim, Kaio Hinazuki, a classmate who had been killed on March 1st, 1988. Kaio comes from an abusive household and is frequently late to school, often bearing visible bruises from her mother's violence. Satoru begins befriending Kaio, despite the awkwardness of being a 29-year-old mind in a child's body. His childhood friend Kenya Kobayashi notices the change in Satoru's behavior, how he has moved from pretending to care about others to genuinely caring. After Satoru confides his mission to Kenya, his friend agrees to help, wanting to be a superhero as well. Satoru learns that Kaio's birthday is March the 2nd, the same as his own, meaning she would disappear on March 1st. He invites her to his birthday party and begins spending more time with her, trying to keep her safe while also attempting to gather evidence of her abuse to get authorities involved. The story of Kaio's abuse is heartbreaking. Her mother, Akemi Hinazuki, regularly beats her and locks her in a shed behind their apartment. Satoru discovers Kaio there one evening, battered and crying, but Akemi arrives and takes her daughter back inside, later submerging Kaio's face in ice water to reduce the bruising. Satoru brings his concerns about Kaio to his teacher, Gaku Yashiro, who reveals he is already aware of the abuse and has been working with child welfare services to build a case. Yashiro appears to be an ideal teacher, caring, supportive, and genuinely concerned for his students' well-being. When the lunch money goes missing and is found in Kaio's bag, Satoru defends her passionately against accusations from classmate Misato. His teacher handles the situation diplomatically, and later, Satoru takes Kaio to see a Christmas tree, giving her gloves to keep her hands warm. Despite Satoru's efforts to stay close to Kaio on March 1st, taking her to and from school, and spending the day together at an arcade, she still disappears. When he arrives at school on March 3rd, she is absent, and she never returns. Yashiro tells the class that Kaio has moved to live with her grandmother, but privately confirms to Satoru that she is gone. The murders continue as they had originally. Aya Nakanishi disappears next, followed by Hiromi Sugita. Devastated by his failure and finding Kaio's discarded gloves in the trash, Satoru experiences another revival that brings him back to the present day in 2006. Back in 2006, Satoru finds himself a fugitive, camping under a bridge. His manager tries to help, but inadvertently leads police to him. Eri Katagiri proves to be a true friend, helping Satoru evade capture and providing him with food and shelter. She explains her faith in his innocence through a personal story. Her father had once been falsely accused of theft, and the experience of not being believed had destroyed their family. The killer, however, tracks down Eri and sets fire to her apartment to eliminate her as a witness. Satoru rushes into the burning building to save her, and they both escape with the help of their manager. During this period, Satoru works with Sawada, one of his mother's journalist colleagues, to piece together the truth about the murders. They discover that the killer had photographed his victims and stored them in a freezer before returning their bodies to where they would be found. The murderer had also planted evidence at Yuki's home to frame him for the crimes. When police finally capture Satoru, with Airi's unwitting help, they had been following her, he spots the real killer among the crowd, a man in a suit with an umbrella. In this desperate moment, time stops, and Satoru experiences one final revival, returning him once again to 1988 for another chance to save everyone. Armed with the knowledge gained from his first attempt, Satoru approaches the situation differently. He enlists Kenya's help more directly, and together they work to save not only Keo, but also the other potential victims, Hiromi and Aya. This time, instead of simply trying to keep Keo safe on March 1st, they take more drastic action. Satoru and Kenya kidnap Keo, hiding her in an abandoned bus, where they create a comfortable shelter. They keep her there for several days, while working to expose her mother's abuse. The plan works better than expected. When Child Welfare Services finally intervenes, they are joined by Kaio's grandmother, who takes custody of the girl. Kaio's mother, Akemi, breaks down when confronted by her own mother about the cycle of abuse that led to her treatment of Kaio. With Keo safe, Satoru turns his attention to protecting Hiromi and Aya. He befriends Aya through his other friends, and soon all the original victims are part of their group, no longer isolated and vulnerable. However, Satoru realizes that the OIM killer will simply find substitute victims, and he becomes concerned about Misato, who has become an outcast following the lunch money incident. The climax comes when Satoru follows what he believes is a lead about the killer, accompanied by his trusted teacher Yashiro. During their car ride, Yashiro reveals the shocking truth. He is the serial killer Satoru has been trying to catch. Yashiro explains that he had initially thought Satoru's interference was coincidence, but when the boy began protecting potential victims with uncanny accuracy, Yashiro realized someone was predicting his moves. The revelation is devastating. For Satoru, who had come to see Yashiro as a father figure, the teacher drives them to a frozen pond, where he has rigged the car so that Satoru cannot escape his seatbelt. Yashiro expresses genuine admiration for Satoru's abilities, while simultaneously attempting to murder him, driving the car into the icy water. Satoru's last words before losing consciousness are a promise that he has seen Yashiro's future. Satoru survives the drowning, but falls into a coma that lasts 15 years. During this time, his mother Sachiko dedicates herself to his care, spending 4 hours every day exercising his muscles and joints to keep his body healthy. When he finally awakens in 2003, his memories of Yashiro and the revival ability have been suppressed. His childhood friends have grown up and built successful careers. Hiromi became a doctor, Kenya a lawyer. Most meaningfully, Keo visits him, with her baby, having married Hiromi and built a happy family. Though Satoru feels a momentary pang at this news, he is genuinely happy that she found love and safety. Satoru's memories return when he sees Kaio and her child, and he realizes he must finish what he started. Yashiro, who has since married and become a city councilman under a different name, approaches Satoru at the hospital. The killer has been visiting regularly, fascinated by his former student. When Satoru reveals that his memories have returned, Yashiro takes him to the hospital roof for a final confrontation. The teacher has prepared an elaborate plan to murder a young cancer patient named Kumi and frames Satoru for the crime before killing him and making it appear to be suicide. However, Satoru has learned to trust his friends completely. Kenya, Hiromi, and the others are waiting with police and safety equipment. In the climactic moment, Satoru forces Yashiro to confront the truth about their relationship. That Yashiro never could bring himself to kill Satoru because the boy was the only person who truly knew and understood him. The psychological revelation breaks Yashiro's resolve. When Satoru appears to throw himself off the building, Yashiro instinctively saves him, proving Satoru's point. As Yashiro is arrested, he laughs, recognizing that he has been outmaneuvered one final time. The series concludes with Satoru reflecting on his lost 15 years, not as a tragedy, but as a precious gift that allowed his friends to live peaceful, happy lives. He succeeds as a manga artist, even getting his work adapted into an anime. In the final scene, set in 2010, Satoru encounters Ari again while walking near the bridge where he once hid. As snow begins to fall, and he sees the blue butterfly one. Last time, their reunion represents not another revival, but a new beginning built on the foundation of all the lives he helped save and the relationships he preserved.